All right, you beautiful people. Let's get straight into it. So we are in another trade every day, getting in and out of these trades. It almost seems easy at this point, right? So in and out, taking a bit of profit here and there. So you can see we've entered into two positions. I've actually opened and closed on this position twice. So we came down, I closed it there, came down, closed it again. I was hoping for a little another bounce. It didn't happen. So be it. Now we're just going to be looking for the full kind of, never mind. We've just hit the take profit there already. So let's have a look at what we hit today. Today, where are we? 23rd. So we've gone 17, 16, 30. So we already are well over $50, which is kind of target for the first one. So I'm actually going to reopen on this position. Hopefully it'll bounce back and kind of just keep doing it, right? Because we know that price is pushing up generally. So we are taking advantage of that. And we are, in some cases, if price is oscillating a lot like this, I can take advantage of that, right? I can kind of dip my feet in a few times. So there, close, come back, open again, pushes up. I'll leave it to go for like maybe 35, 50. If it comes down again, taps in, we have a little bit more oscillating. I'll see if I'm going to close it again. Pushes further down, we'll see, let it tap into that. I can close or wait for it to push up for a little bit more profit. I'll only do that on the first three positions. The final two positions are more just kind of just get out, right? But yeah, that's it. We already, like $50 odd. Let me work it out, 46. So there's, over $60 actually in profit already. Yesterday, great news. We did hit profitable day. You can see now 1 of 3. I mean, look at this curve, guys. This is exactly what you want to see. Let's look at the stats now. We have taken a few more losses. Not that I've lost, just that I've taken a few hits in order to close our positions, coming to end of day, certain things. So maybe taking a little bit more. My biggest loss at the moment is $61, right? My best profit is $263. So at the moment we're looking at, I think we are on about 1,084 profit. Profit factor is 11.94. So it did come down from that original 30 odd, but I think it was unlikely that it was going to stay that high. And win rate is slightly down at around 78%. Now, I could have held a little bit longer with some of my positions just to, secure a better win rate. But at the end of the day, it's not about the win rate. It's about the profit I'm making, right? And if it makes sense, then close. All I was looking for yesterday was a small profit. I was just looking for, I think, about $30 odd. I hit that, close everything out, and then, I'm walking away. Because the main thing I wanted to secure was this profitable days, and that's it.
Safa says, can you make her a nice coffee? Then she'll get up. Also, can you make sure you're ready to go so that when she
What
finishes,
time?
Well, I guess we'll have to go at 12. Well, I'll just have to eat lunch late today.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
So
Okay.
iced coffee.
Iced coffee. You guys want an iced coffee? The life of a trader, married with kids. That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes, It's not all about the trading. We've got to be making iced coffees for our teenage daughters. Shout out if you have a teenage daughter. You know what it's like. All right. So back to this, guys. Doing what we're doing. We have got still another, what about seven grand to go. Actually, 6,000 and some change, 6,900 or something like that. So working our way there, guys, slow but sure, getting our way there. Nice to see that one profitable day. That's great. I think we can get the other two very easily. We've got a lot of time. But yeah, so far so good, guys. Looking really, really good. My gross loss at the moment is 99. Total profit is 1,000. So, pretty good stats at the moment. If we can keep that all the way through, that's going to be great. Let's go back to here. So that's still pushing up. This account is 55,750. I took about a $300 profit. It was buying up there, which, to me, it seems like it's going to turn around. I'm a bit hesitant to allow it to kind of keep buying after a move like that. So I just closed out, took my profit, and I'm probably going to leave it for the rest of the day. This is a funded account. So I've got about $2,400 to go. I'll have to hit that next week. But yeah, looking for an $8,000 profit target on this one, which means after I get my 80%, we're looking at about 6,800 or so dollars. 6,000, yeah. I'm not sure exactly. Is it 6,400? Yeah. 6,400 would be a nice payday. That's essentially my target and my monthly target smashed. At the moment, I'm just looking for 5 grand a month from my automated trading. Yeah, so that's where we are with everything. This is Finviz. You can see that Euro USD, Euro was actually a lot higher, so Euro might be weakening a bit. So I've got to keep an eye on that. Might be worthwhile looking at like AUD USD. But at the moment, I'm just going to let it play out. I'm going to keep pushing on this one. We'll see if this pushes back. This might turn around, but we'll see what we can squeeze out of this one. Don't have any big news right now anytime soon. I think there might be something later today, but I plan to be out of the market by then already. So that's it, guys. That's the morning section. I will come back later to let you know exactly what has happened. My target for today, I'd like to squeeze out at least $300 from the market today. Let's have a quick look at AUD USD. Wow, pushing up quite strong there. If we go to the 4 hour, I'm going to remove everything because we can just start again. So we're kind of oscillating a bit here. So if we just look at that move, which it's not over obviously, but give an idea, then this extension. The extension is always a good place to put your stop because a lot of people will put their stop on the swing. But you got to remember, most of the time swings are taken for liquidity. So I like to put it on the extension. And then if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I know then I'm happy to take that. All right, so now let's just zoom down to the 5 minute. Had a very big push up over here. So that is going up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at some entry points. It is still moving, so we'll keep kind of watching this. So that would be my first entry, second entry on the 6. Zoom out a bit here. Third entry I can take on there, maybe the break of that. Fourth will be over there. Fifth can be on the extension over there, and then obviously so then we can have it look something like this. So give ourselves a real lot of room to work with. You can see it has actually turned around now. So I'm going to put my stop all the way under that extension, which is the second extension. We can push for just the top of that. We're not looking for too much on this one. Let me quickly have a look. Where did that go to? Kind of up to there, so we can move these around a little bit. That'll be there. That'll be there. That'll be there. That can stay there, and the other one can stay where it was as well. So this will be something like that. So I can potentially look at getting into this trade. I'm just going to wait to see if it does turn around. And then obviously the second position will be there. Third position will be there. Fourth and fifth. And if you guys are members, you know exactly how to break those positions up for the best possible entries and also the best possible way to kind of claw back if you're into those fourth and fifth positions. I teach it all in to members, which you don't have many of, but if it's something you're interested in, just pop down in the comments below, member. Just put the word member, and then I'll DM you and we can take it from there. But yeah, if you guys want to be part of this, I'm doing this every single day. And like I said, I'm not going live at the moment just because there's no one joining the live, so there's no point. But there is a lot of value in this, guys. You can follow along if you want. You can enter your positions. The only problem is I won't be on the live all the way through until closing everything. I'll probably be on, opening and closing a few positions like I do. But if you are not sure how to manage, then it will be a bit scary. I think you would need to be a member. You need to understand that if you want to follow 100%, because a lot of people might, get into 1, 2, 3 positions and then just freak out and maybe close out with a loss. And that's just not how this strategy works. It's all about being patient. It's all about just understanding how market moves and understanding that, where we're putting in our orders are at areas that price generally can bounce from. Not that it's always going to, but, this is not just a place positions wherever you feel like, and you've got a load of positions against it and, hope for the best. It's a little bit more planned out than that. So yeah, if you guys are interested, just pop down the word in the comments section, member. All right. I will catch you guys in a little bit. It'll be probably in the next couple seconds for you, but for me, it'll be a whole day away. All right. We'll see you guys soon. Bye for now. Alrighty, back for the update, guys. It's actually a bit later than I was hoping. It's actually the next day, just because we allowed some of the trades to go a little bit longer. Not a bad day. Not exactly what I was hoping for. I was hoping for another 500 day. I think we only squeezed out about 200, 250 if we're lucky, which is still not bad. I'm not ever going to say no to a profitable day, because my whole kind of concept and way of trading is that if I end up with more than I did the day before, it's been a good day, right? But with that being said, it's nice to have your goals, and if you hit those goals, great stuff. But so yesterday we only traded 2 pairs, Euro USD and AUD USD, and I just kept rinsing the market for a little bit extra, a little bit extra, a little bit extra. You'll see when I go to the MT5 what I'm talking about. So you see yesterday we were all about buys, and buys we got, right? And then on AUD USD later on I went for buys as well, just because it was a stronger push, and as you can see, it definitely was. Look how high it. Now I could have held on to positions then. I could have probably got my 500. That's just not how I trade. I don't hold on to those because you just never know, right? I have a target. When it reaches that, I close it. End of story. And we go again, and we just keep repeating until we've got our money. And that's what I'm talking. I'm just squeezing, just dripping it out every single time that I see an opportunity. Squeeze out the cash, take it, and off you go. And that's how I trade. So let's jump over to this quickly so I can show you. Let's move that over there. So you can see we're currently sitting on 101,268. Profit is actually more than that, but we get hit with commissions because we're opening a lot more positions. But that's just how it goes, right? So yesterday was all wins. It was 100% win rate, which is a great day. We love to see the 100% win rate. So this was the first trade over here. So let's just work this out quickly. Quickly work out exactly what we made yesterday. So 17.11 plus 16.52 plus 30.40, 30.40 plus 22.94 plus 24.51 plus 24.51 plus 27.38 plus 75.52. So there we go, guys. So you can see that 214 was what we hit yesterday. So all in all, not a bad day. I mean, that's not a bad day. Not quite what I was hoping for. But as you can see, let's go to the Euro USD first. You can see here, guys, first position there, I left. We went down, pushed back up. I squeezed out cash. I took my money because I knew we were kind of bouncing around. Pushed back again, took some money, went back up, closed that again. And then I think that was all I took from Euro USD. And then later on, I mean, you see, in hindsight, it could have been a much bigger day, right? If I left this, number one, could have made more. If I'd kind of re-entered or done the re-entry, I could have tapped into 2 or 3 positions and pushed up nice and high. Would have easily made about $200 just on that move there. Here's what it is. There's no point looking back unless it's helping you. This is not helping me. I still feel like I did nothing wrong. Traded my setup, traded my strategy to perfection literally yesterday. I literally, not a single loss, 100% win rate. So you cannot be mad with that, right? How can you be? And then let's have a look at the AUD. Again, exactly the same thing. Got my position. I could have let the one go a little bit further. I could have pushed for probably about 70 to 100 on that one. But you just never know, right? When you're looking at the market live, you don't know where it's going. So you take what's there. You have an idea. For this one, I think I was looking for about $30. I got my $30. Pushed back down. I re-entered it. So I set the limit again because I had a feeling it was going to come back. Came back, tapped into two positions. This pushed up. I actually thought we were going to push down a bit further before we pushed up. So I took my money there. Unfortunate because I could have held that one to that position. It would have been a bigger win. But at the end of the day, both of them took money, right? So I re-entered again. Look at that. 3. Boom, boom, boom. That's what I'm talking about. Just squeezing whatever you can out of the market when you can, right? Because no one knows where the market's going. No one knows. All you can do is kind of trade on what's happening right there and then. Very big push down there, right? Very big push down. So your mind, you're thinking like, okay, we could have a potential turnaround here. We've got to be a little bit more, careful. But then later on, if you look at that now, you're like, I could have held on. But, it's all in hindsight, right? I still feel like I traded yesterday perfectly. Super happy with how it went. I was actually away from the charts quite a lot yesterday. So I could have actually got more opportunities if I wanted, but just wasn't to be. So let's go jump over, reset the 5s over here. Let's have a quick look here, guys. All right, so here we go. It's currently sitting on 1,197. Is that right? That's not right. I don't think this is refreshed yet because we are actually on 1,200. According to this, we're on 1,268. So I don't think this has taken into account my 70 something dollar. If we look over here, yeah, that last $78 trade is actually not in here. So if you look at the five as you go to history over here, that final trade of mine was 72.52. That has actually not even been counted yet. So with that in mind, $72 added to what we've got there, that's going to be our total. I'm not sure why it hasn't yet. Let me just try and refresh again, or at least go out of this. Let's go out, then we'll go back in. No, it's still showing the same amount. So for some reason it hasn't updated yet, which is fine. Hit one of our profitable days, which is all good. Let's have a look at the statistics over here, guys. A little bit slow. 1 sec. Oh, all right. Let's have a look at this, guys. Win rate. Yesterday was fantastic for my win rate. We're back up to over 80% win rate, 83.33, all the threes. Our profit factor is now up to 13.08. Fantastic profit factor. Let's have a look here. Best profit, 263. Biggest loss, 61. Average profit, 64. Average loss, 24. So if you look at that, we're still, in terms of everything is looking fantastic. Expectancy, 49, short trade, blah, blah, blah. So looking very, very good. There you can see gross profit is up there at 1,260. But why is it not showing here, though? See, it is showing that I'm still in a trade here. Open trade, AUD, USD. It's showing that I'm in a trade. So this one hasn't actually updated yet. So I think that's what it is. So gross profit is 1,200 because if you look at the gross profit on this, it's actually 1,322. But because of spreads, we're on a 268. So there's a difference of between 322 and 268. So let me let you know what spreads has cost me. And this is something you guys have always got to bear in mind, right? 322 minus 268, 268. So I've already put in $54 into spreads, and I'm trading some, smallish lot sizes, not really going crazy with the lot sizes, 0.34, 0.57, 0.37, 0.37. So not huge in terms of lot sizes, but does it show me it doesn't show there. Okay. So you got to bear in mind that your commissions are always going to eat in a little bit. Is what it is. It kind of annoys me when you're talking about prop firms because it's a demo account. It's not live, but I suppose it's simulated. It has to be realistic, so they have to add in the commission. But yeah, the commission is actually not going anywhere, not to anyone, because it's all simulated, right? So is what it is. But with that being said, guys, in 5 days, so I have now been with this 5%ers for 5 days, 5 days, 5%ers, and we are $1,268 up. So my target for the end of next week is going to be 2.5. I'd like to hit 2.5 every 2 weeks. What that means is we are essentially, what is our target? 8%. We should be finishing this in about a month and a half is my target. I want to finish this challenge in a month and a half. And I might even throw in a couple kind of big trade days. I might even turn on Titan X for a day just to push out a quick $1,000 or $2,000. So I will be risking about $1,000 or $2,000, but see if I can just squeeze out a very quick $2,000, which is going to save me essentially a whole week. So I might look at doing that. I might look at the different sort of set files. But yeah, if I do that, I'll let you know, and you will be the first to know how I play this. So this could be like a mix, manual thingy. But once we get to the funded, it's all going to be manual. I'm going to be in full control of this with my manual strategy, and I'll be looking for 2.5%. So $2,500 every 2 weeks, $5,000 every month. So I will be basically scaling this account every 2 months, right? Now, you remember what that looks like, guys. If I go to, let me go back to here. We'll go to new Fivers. So you guys remember what that looks like, right? So just to give you an idea again of the plan of action, funding programs, let's go to the high stakes, which is what we're on. We're also going to be starting the boot camp, guys. Boot camp is coming because that is going to be a potential earner for us. It's going to take a little bit more time, but put in the time, take out the money, bro. Sorry, I'm so sorry. All right, so here we go. we are going to start at 100,000. So it's going to take us 2 months. So 2 months bumped up to 125. But with that being said, it's going to, in the 2 months, we're going to be making 8 grand, which we'll get about 6 of that. So in 2 months, $6,000. Then we're going to get bumped up to the 125. Then we're going to hit our target again in 2 months. Going to be making probably about 7 grand. 2 months again, bumped up to 150. So it's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So in about a year's time, I'm going to be looking at getting to the 300K. And at that point, once we hit our 10% on that, we're going to be looking at getting the fixed payouts. And I was slightly mistaken when I spoke about this before. So that $4,000 is only every time you hit that 10%. So when you hit the 10% and you're getting upgraded to the next account, you then you get the $4,000, right? So it's not if you do nothing. You get a fixed payout if you hit the 10%. So basically what this means from that point on, every 2 months, I'll be getting whatever I've made. So 350, you're looking at 35,000 minus 20, so 30 odd grand, right? Plus the 40, so 34 grand for 2 months work. Boom, bumped up to the next one. Again, 2 months work, we're going to be looking at 40 grand, so maybe about 30, what will that be? 36 grand plus 40 grand in 2 months. Bumped up again. Do that for 2 months again, and keep doing that. And then from this point on, we should be every 2 months able to get out 10%, which will be 50 grand. So we'll be making 40 grand plus the 10, 50 grand. 50 grand every 2 months. So we'll be looking at a 25K per month at this point. Probably take us about 2 years to get there, I would say. And then we are looking at 25K months, which is incredible. And then on top of that, we're going to have everything that's happening with the Titan running, multiple different challenges all at the same time, because Titan is totally different, right? Titan, it doesn't matter if you're passing or failing, you're always making money. That's the incredible thing about Titan and the Prop Farming Blueprint. You just constantly rebuy into more challenges, let them pass challenges, let them get payouts. Even if you can get 1 or 2 payouts from a funded account and then you lose it, you go on to the next. That's just how it works, right? But you get to a point where you are essentially always in no less than 10 different accounts, whether they are in challenge phase or are in funded phase. You can go up to 20 if you want. So there's no limit. You can just, as you make money, you reinvest, and you get to a point where, I'm already at a point that in about 2.5 months, this is already paying me back $5,000 a month. And I'm now going to start pushing in quite aggressively in terms of my scaling on that. So my next target on that is 10K months. And then, we go, all go. Sorry, I keep looking over there because I've got another camera over there, but this is where I should be looking. I should be looking straight at you guys. All right, guys, talking about that, thank you very much for joining. Let me know, keen for the lives. If you are, all I need you to do is subscribe and let me know you're up for the lives. And then I'll start doing lives, because you guys can see there's a weekend, 83% win rate. What is it? 13 profit factor. If this is what you want a part of, then just follow. We can do some lives. You can join this, do this along with me. And in 2 years' time, maybe you'll be making a 25K with me, 25K a month. Let's go for it. All right, guys, thank you very much for joining. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.